All right, y'all. So today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. If you know me, if you follow the channel, I've been on this channel trying to improve my diet. Some people choose to call it the vegan lifestyle. Some choose to call it the plant-based lifestyle. But either way, for a long time I've been the pescatarian. I've been the vegetarian, the pescatarian. I don't eat pork. Stay away from beef. Gone through all these little phases, and so it's only right that I try to continue with this, what they call growth. But like I said, so today, um, and it's not that I don't personally think that my diet is that terrible, but we all think that. Everybody thinks that, and then you go to the doctor, and the doctor tells you, "Well, your numbers say this. Your numbers say otherwise. You can think you have a great diet, but blood pressure numbers don't lie. Cholesterol numbers don't lie. Uh, Pre-diabetes numbers don't lie. So no matter what you think, you might need to check yourself." So, like I said, even when I'm back in the States in Virginia, I have been trying to make the best of improvements to the culinary options that I partake of. So, no difference. There should be no difference here while I'm here in Ghana. So, I thought to some extent, what better place? What better place than to look for healthier food than right here in the motherland? That would make sense, don't you think? So, now, let me just say this. Now, Ghanaian cuisine itself is already filled with bold flavors, rich spices, soulful textures. I like, I'm in love with Ghanaian cuisine off top. When I'm in Virginia, when I'm in the States, as often as I can, I go to an African restaurant, and it just so happens that many of the ones, at least within driving distance, are either based on Ghanaian cuisine, Nigerian cuisine, or Liberian cuisine. And if you know how to do the linguistic dance, you can dance through all of those and still end up with many of the same types of meals and whatnot. So, but ain't nothing like the home team. So the plan today is basically just to go on down to it's a restaurant. I've been asking around. I've been using Chat GPT. I've been using Google. I've been using Yelp. But today the plan is to go to Tatale. Now, if I said that wrong, I do apologize. Tatale. I haven't wrapped my head around that too well. So I'm gonna, get dressed, get ready, or whatever. We're gonna head down to Tatale. It's in Osu, one of my favorite little places to dip into. So we'll get down there, check out. I already looked at the menu online, so I'll show you the menu. I kind of know what I'm gonna get anyhow because I looked at the menu online. And then we gonna see from there. But I wanted to just touch base first. Um, and make a couple of statements. Now here's the funny thing. This is about my fourth or fifth time coming to Ghana. I can't really remember at this point, but I've been to Tatale before. The last one time before I came, I went to Tatale, but something happened and I wasn't able to stick around and actually try the food. I ended up leaving early. So it was like, okay, well, better luck next time. So hopefully, once we get there, no crazy stuff will jump off. I don't get any funny messages and got to change my plans like it was last time. I'm not going to go into all of that. But one thing I will say, from what I remember, and you'll see once we get there, I'll try to take footage and whatnot. Because Osu itself is busy. Oxford Street itself is busy, bustling, hustling, lots of energy. And when you step into Tatale, it's like you've stepped into a sound vacuum. Yeah, it's like you've stepped into a sound vacuum. And I hope you're digging the background. This is, where I'm staying at. Uh, they got this beautiful display back here. So, I'm going in with an open mind. I'm going in with an open mind, and I'm going in with an empty stomach. Hopefully, everything is going to be as good as Buka. My goal is to find some other restaurants that are just as good as Buka. Every time I come to Ghana, I have to go to Osu and I have to go to the Buka restaurant. Now, they're not vegan, so let me put that out there. They do have they do it all, but they have a specific side section of their menu where they do vegetarian Ghanaian dishes. So you can get plum nut soup, and it's gonna come with the traditional meats, whether you like that or not. You can get light soup, groundnut soup, and they're gonna come with the traditional meats, whether you like it or not. So if you're a vegetarian, it behooves you to go to Buka because they have the vegetarian section where they specifically make all of those meals without the meats. And so now one thing you will learn is, you have to be careful with your terminology. Because you can go any restaurant you want. You can say, well, I want a vegetarian, and they'll say, okay. But oftentimes, what vegetarian means to you and what vegetarian means to other people, you got to make sure you're on the same page. So a lot of people, and this has happened to me in the States as well as here in Ghana. You say vegetarian, they say, yes, we can do it. But to them, what they mean is they just gonna fish out the meat. So they'll just go into the same pot and get you the soup or the food, and they'll do their darndest to make sure you don't get any pieces of meat hanging around in your bowl. Now, if you're small vegetarian, if you're small vegan, that may not necessarily be an issue with you. But if you're trying to be like, 100% authentic to the code, then that don't necessarily cut it. But see, that's why I like the buka. The buka is they make a pot of vegetarian soup and a pot of traditionals. So you can almost rest assured that just ordering off the vegetarian menu, there is nothing hidden. There is nothing sneaking. They're not gonna sneak in a beef broth into the vegetarian soup pot. But that's the buka. So that's why I'm going to Tatale because they are authentic or original or 100% vegan. So you don't even have to worry about it. You go, you order whatever, everything on the menu is absolutely without meat. They don't have secondaries. They don't have alternatives. So that's the really driving force for me going there. So like I said, now, whether you're vegan curious, vegan adjacent, Tatale is definitely a place. And hopefully, if I got time, 9 times out of 10, I may run out of time, but there's one other place I'm going to try called Asase Pa Vegan. And there's another place. Now, if you're not necessarily concerned with vegan Ghanaian cuisine, if you just want traditional vegan, there's a place at the Afrikiko Plaza called Mahogany. And you could go there and you could get like your traditional vegan items like tofu in your salads, tofu, whatever meat or sandwich or whatever that it would just be a tofu alternative. Now, me, I'm not necessarily that kind of vegan. That I ain't throwing no shame or nothing. It's just, you know, I'm not that much vegan. I'm vegan, small. I'm more so into just let me like just let me stay away from main meats for the most part. So, I'm trying to just drop a few jewels for you, a few gems for you, because in all, if you know where to look, if you know how to look, if you know how to talk to people, that's key. If you gotta talk to people, you can find the vegan spots. You just gotta play with your language, because just because you use a word that is appropriate to you don't necessarily mean everybody else is gonna follow suit. Because different words have different meanings in different cultures. So we're gonna get into it. So I'm a, like I said, this is Shabazz. This is Shabazz with the proper perspective. This is Shabazz with the proper perspective. And I'm gonna close off here so I can run and finish getting dressed and whatnot. I wanted to shoot this down here because the weather is so nice. And we are on our way to Tatale vegan restaurant. So as you can see, this is what the building looks like outside. All right, so we just arrived here at Tatale vegan restaurant. We'll see what's going on with this. There ain't no way to lie about it. This menu looks dope. The items, everything on here looks like something that you definitely would want to try. Now, I'm keying up on certain things because I love soup. So when I see fufu and I see palm nut soup, I'm like, okay, and it's going to be vegan, so I don't have to worry about any hidden animal parts. I'm like, yeah, this is what's up. And you see fresh juices, you will always get your fresh juice options when you're in Ghana, when you're in Africa, in and of itself. So I'm looking at the fresh juices, the watermelon, palm nut soup with fufu. That's what I'm about to get. Palm nut soup with fufu. That's what I'm about to get. All right, let me scan the place so you can see how nice it looks. It's just a little small, but that's not a bad thing. It's like real cozy and intimate environment. Warm colors, earth tone colors. It's really a nice looking place once you get up in here, and it's not even difficult to get to. It's very close. It's right off of Oxford Street. So yeah, I got the vegan palm nut soup. It looks amazing with bok choy, carrots, tofu, mushrooms, aubergine. Now you see that watermelon juice in the background, but this is the pumpkin soup with rice, and then also a side of jollof rice to go with it. Okay, fresh out of Tatale, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that food was not worth anything. I say this with a heavy heart because I don't like talking negative about stuff, but whew, that shit was awful. I ain't saying don't go. If you do go, don't order what I got.